The salty air whipped across the training ground, carrying the scent of gunpowder and the low murmur of soldiers. Among them stood Lieutenant Riley Hayes, a figure of quiet intensity. She wasn't the biggest or the loudest, but in the world of Navy SEALs, her reputation as a sniper was legendary. Yet as she unzipped her rifle bag, a ripple of snickers and whispers spread through the ranks. It wasn't Riley they were laughing at, it was her rifle. While her comrades polished the latest high-tech, digitally scoped sniper systems, Riley gently assembled a piece that looked like it belonged in a museum. It was a classic, bolt-action rifle, its wooden stock worn smooth by years of use, its steel barrel showing the faint patina of age. To the younger SEALs, armed with weapons that could practically aim themselves, it was a joke. "Hey, Lieutenant," a brash young operator named Decker called out, a smirk playing on his lips. "You bring your grandpa's hunting rifle by mistake?" "The History Museum is that way." Riley didn't flinch. She simply finished chambering around, the metallic click a stark contrast to the electronic beeps of the other rifles. She looked at Decker, her gaze as steady as her hand. "This rifle," she said, her voice calm but firm, "has seen more action than your entire squad combined. It doesn't need a computer to find its mark." The training exercise was a complex one, a long-range precision shoot under simulated combat conditions. Targets were placed at varying distances, from 800 to over 1,500 meters, partially obscured and appearing at random intervals. The wind was gusting unpredictably, a sniper's worst nightmare. Decker and his team, confident in their advanced ballistic computers and wind sensors, settled into their positions. Decker was first. His rifle's display lit up with data-wine speed, humidity, bullet drop compensation. He adjusted his scope, took a breath, and squeezed the trigger. The shot was close, but the wind shifted at the last second, and the bullet struck just outside the bullseye. He cursed under his breath. One by one, the other Texavy snipers took their shots, with mixed results. The shifting winds and challenging conditions were proving too much even for their sophisticated gear. Then, it was Riley's turn. She lay prone, her body a study in stillness. She didn't have a screen to consult. Instead, she plucked a blade of grass and tossed it into the air, watching its gentle drift. She closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the wind on her cheek, reading its subtle language. Her movements were fluid, economical. She adjusted the worn dials on her vintage scope, not with calculations, but with instinct honed over thousands of hours of practice. Her breathing slowed until it was almost imperceptible. The world narrowed to the target in her crosshairs, a tiny speck in the distance. There was a moment of perfect silence, and then the thunderous crack of her old rifle. A second later, the radio crackled. Bullseye, direct hit. A hush fell over the training ground. Decker and the others stared, dumbfounded. It had to be a fluke. But Riley was already preparing for the next target, even farther away. Again, she went through her ritual, reading the wind, feeling the environment, becoming one with her weapon. Crack bullseye, the radio confirmed. Target after target, Riley's performance was a masterclass in precision. At 1,200 meters, with a crosswind that sent other shots wildly off course, she hit the center. At 1,500 meters, a distance that pushed the limits of modern technology, her old rifle delivered a perfect shot. She wasn't just shooting. She was conducting a symphony of physics and intuition. She didn't rely on technology to do the work for her. She was the computer. Her brain processed the wind, the distance, the spin of the earth, all in a fraction of a second. When the exercise concluded, Riley had a perfect score. No one else had come close. The once mocking silence was now one of awe and respect. As she carefully cleaned her rifle, Decker approached, his earlier arrogance gone, replaced by genuine humility. "Lieutenant," he began, his voice quiet, "I don't understand. How? Our systems are supposed to be foolproof." Riley paused, looking up from her work. She held up a single, polished cartridge. "Technology is a tool," she said softly. "It can help, but it can also become a crutch. It makes you lazy. You stop reading the wind because a sensor does it for you. You stop judging distance because a laser tells you. You forget the fundamentals." She gestured toward her rifle. "This weapon doesn't have a brain. It forces me to use mine. It demands that I understand every variable. The wind, the light, the feel of the trigger. It's not about having the best gear. Da-da-da-da-da. It's about being the best operator. Skill is the ultimate weapon. Your mind, your instincts, your discipline, that's what makes a sniper. The lesson echoed louder than any gunshot that day. On the battlefield, batteries die, screens crack, and software glitches. But true mastery, the kind etched into your very soul through relentless practice and unwavering focus, never fails. Riley Hayes and her old rifle taught an entire generation of SEALs that the most advanced piece of equipment a warrior will ever have is the 6 inches between their ears. The operator is the system, and the weapon is just a tool in their skilled hands. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content that celebrates skill, dedication, and the true spirit of a warrior. See you in the next one.